State is your 2024 national champions. And that's a sentence I thought I was going to be saying before the season started. But if you told me everything that would happen in between Ohio State's season, I wouldn't have expected this outcome. Like, if you told me they had 2 losses, one of those being to a Michigan team in a down year, I would not have thought they would be able to win a national championship. But here we are, and this game, in general, was a roller coaster of events. I mean, that first drive for Notre Dame where they had the ball for like 9 minutes for a majority of the first quarter, it made me think, oh shoot, we are in for a game. And then the end of the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter, where Ohio State was doing whatever they wanted to do offensively, when they were getting stops and they were limiting the run game, when Riley Leonard looked like he was dying out there, I was like, okay, Ohio State's going to run away with this. Then we get into that late third quarter, fourth quarter, where Notre Dame starts putting some things together. They start moving the ball offensively. Ohio State starts to beat themselves with a few bad flags and honestly just letting people run free. Actually, there wasn't really nobody running free. It was very good coverage. It was just a lot of holding, a lot of self-inflicted wounds by Ohio State that Notre Dame capitalized on. And when Notre Dame missed that field goal, I personally thought that it was over right then and there when they missed that, because I was like, okay, they're not going to be able to make up being down 2 scores at this point. Now, in all honesty, when I look at Marcus Freeman choosing to kick that field goal, I don't see a problem with it. Ohio State all year has been known for having one of the best red zone defense in the country, so I think their mindset was just getting points. That should be a makeable field goal. I think the bigger problem with Notre Dame is, why is their field goal kicker that bad? For a team of that caliber, for a program of that caliber, to have a field goal kicker that bad is very concerning. You're supposed to hit those chip shots. You're supposed to hit those gimmies. That's not supposed to be one where you're like, we may or may not make it. You're supposed to make those. And this is coming from a Ohio State fan who's seen my team had many struggles with field goal kicking, especially this year. Look at that Michigan game. We lost by 3 points, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think it was Felding. I think it was somebody else. I think he switched kickers. Missed 2 field goals in that game. Field goal kicking and special teams is important. But I'm very, very, very happy with this. I mean, did Ohio State need to lose that game to Michigan to win the national championship? I honestly don't think so. You know, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, just cut. Them losing that game is a reason that we see this new and improved, inspired football team. I don't think that's the case. I think this Ohio State team we've been seeing throughout the playoff is the Ohio State team that has been there all year. I just think when they were playing Michigan, for some reason, they wanted to play with one hand but tied behind their back just to prove a point. They wanted to prove we can beat you with physical football. And not that Ohio State can't, because Ohio State shown in the playoffs, they're a very, very physical football team. When they want to run the ball, they can run the ball. When they want to stop you running the ball, they will stop you running the ball. So I don't understand why against Michigan we saw this convoluted game plan of just running your head into a brick wall over and over and over again. Also, I think Michigan just has Ohio State's number right now, and it's just a mental hurdle that they're going to have to, get over at some point. Now, winning this game, winning the national championships, it doesn't cure that Michigan loss. It doesn't. It really doesn't, but it makes it a whole hell of a lot better. If they would have lost this game, people would have just went right back to talking about that Michigan loss. Because you won this game, because you won the national championship, it's not like that goes away, but more people can live with it. Would I trade a win over Michigan for a national championship? In all honesty, I probably would, given it's been a minute since Ohio State has gotten one. It's been since like 2014. That's over 10 years ago. I was in middle school when that happened, and now I am a junior in college. So it's been a second. And shifting to Notre Dame's perspective, I'm probably going back and forth because it's a quick reaction video and I have a lot of thoughts swirling in my mind. Notre Dame is on the right track. Marcus Freeman and company is going to get this thing rolling how it's probably should have been rolling soon. He's a really, really good coach. Now, the one thing I kind of do question about this game is, where the hell was Jeremiah Love? I understand that to win this game, and it was kind of apparent that you were going to need Riley Leonard to use his legs. I think we all knew that. I think we all knew they were going to have to use the quarterback room, because that's something that Ohio State historically have always had a problem with. But the fact that Jeremiah Love did not get many touches. I think he only had like a few rushes and like 2 catches. He had that one very nice design play for him on the goal line when they hit him with that shovel pass. I love that play, by the way. And it's just, why wasn't he more involved? Because I thought the one thing that they were going to be able to do against Ohio State was use their running backs in the passing game, because that's something Texas used to their advantage. The only 2 Texas touchdowns they scored are when they got their backs out of the backfield and it confused Ohio State a little bit. So I'm surprised they didn't go to that a little bit more. I like them using the quarterback run, but as you kind of saw after that first drive, that wasn't sustainable. 8 carries for Riley Leonard on that first drive is, while it's beautiful in and of itself for that drive, that wasn't a sustainable game plan for the whole game. It was not. You saw he was beat up and bruised because those weren't just 8 carries where he's running free. Those were 8 carries where he was mowing people over, when he was running through people. Those weren't like 8 carries for 60 yards. It was more 8 carries for 40, 8 carries for 30. They were allowed 5 yards that he was getting, and that's a lot to ask for from your quarterback. Running back, not so much, but from your starting quarterback, it is a little crazy. And I personally just think Ohio State was a better team, and it kind of showed. Now, I was very, very scared. My one beef with Chip Kelly in this game, one of my main beefs, because I feel like, in all honesty, Ohio State probably should have had 40-plus points if we're being completely honest. Now, maybe they shouldn't have, because Notre Dame did dominate a lot of time possession, especially in that first half. But on that final drive, when we got it to Jeremiah Smith over the top, that's going to make a lot of people forget that Ohio State was doing some dumb play calling. And the dumb play calling was those back-to-back quarterback runs that were so obvious. I like quarterback runs when they're designed well, when they are schemed up well. It was blatantly obvious what you were doing. Why are we running it with the quarterback? We have TreVeyon Henderson. When we have Quinshon Judkins, who was having a game. TreVeyon Henderson was having a game. Why didn't we give them the ball? Why did we give it to Will Howard? I have no problem with running. I have no problem running Will Howard. I actually like when they do. I feel like it really opens up the offense. But that right there should have been the times you gave it to Quinshon. You let him run over a few people. You let him stiff arm some people. You give it to TreVeyon Henderson. You let his speed do the talking. And the one thing about TreVeyon Henderson I would like to mention is I think TreVeyon Henderson in this playoff run that the Ohio State Buckeyes had, I think he really showed why he may be a first-day pick as a running back. Is he my running back number 2? I don't know. I think I want to look at the running backs a little bit more because it's actually a very deep and star-studded running back class when you really, really look at it. But his speed, his quick burst, his ball carrier vision, he is a special back. And I think Ohio State getting Quinshon was so good for him because we finally got to see a healthy TreVeyon Henderson at the end of the year. The biggest thing about TreVeyon in his 3 or 4 years prior to this is he's had really good seasons, but it's down the stretch. He's just not healthy because he is not an every down back. While he can do every down back things, his body cannot take it. He cannot take the punishment. He cannot take the bruising. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be able to take 30-plus touches a game. You know, it's okay if you can't do that. But I think this playoff run did wonders, and I mean wonders for his draft stock. I mean, a running back who can do a lot of different things, who can catch the ball out the backfield, who is fast, who is electric. You know, I'm still trying to figure out who he reminds me of, but he improved his draft stock a lot. And I think one thing that will help TreVeyon Henderson a lot is that he is going to test well at the combine. Because that 40 time he's going to run, he's going to run a 4.3. I personally believe it. And Quinshon, you know, I feel like he's going to do very well in the league. But I think the thing with Quinshon is he's not going to test well at the combine because he's not fast, but he's going to give you those tough, hard yards. My dad compared him to like a Gus Edwards type, and I really like that comparison. He's the guy you're going to bring in when, hey, just you know, run him over. Can you give me 5 yards real quick? Can you give me 3 yards real quick? Quinshon can do that for you. That's why they were such a good compliment. I mean, it really was the Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery of college football. You know, it really was. And this win does immense things for Ryan Day, because Ryan Day has always been known as a coach, really ever since he took over Ohio State, especially recently as a coach that, you know, he's really good. He's going to win you games, but can he win you that big one? He won 1, 2, 3. He won 3 of those. 4, actually. He won 4. Tennessee, because a lot of people picked Tennessee to win. Oregon, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people picked Oregon to win. Texas was a big game, even though, yes, a lot of people were picking Ohio State because of the run they were on at the time. And then Notre Dame. That's 4 big wins. In the year where he also beat Indiana. In the year where he also beat Penn State. You know, it's Ryan Day is reminding y'all that he is one of the best college football coaches. Period. The only person who I am for sure putting above him is Kirby Smart. Besides that, I think he is second best. Like everything else after that, that's a debate. You can debate him and Marcus Freeman, even though he did just beat Marcus Freeman. I think Marcus Freeman has definitely catapulted my rankings. You know, I probably will do a rankings of head coaches, and he will definitely be up there. But I think besides that, the only person Ryan Day is under is Kirby Smart, and that's not even a bad thing because Kirby Smart right now is the Nick Saban of this shit, if we being for real. So, yeah, that game was, you know, phenomenal. Even though they scared me so much at the end. And I know it's early. I know they just won, but I can't wait to see how this team looks next year because it's going to look very interesting. You're going to be replacing a majority of that defense. You're going to be missing Tylee. You're going to be missing JT, Jack Sawyer. You're going to be missing Denzel Burke. You're going to be missing Hancock. You're going to be missing Cody Simon. You're probably going to be missing Sony if he's smart. I think Sony should really go. I think he's a guy that while he may not be a day one or even a day two pick, he's the linebacker that's going to be around the league for a while because he's very athletic. He can do a lot. He can also rush the passer. So I expect Sony to enter. I honestly would want him to enter. Go get that money now, bro. But I won't understand if he stays. Because the thing about Sony is, me and him are the same age. I'm pretty sure. No. He's younger than me. He's younger than me because he reclassed. He was a 17 as a freshman. Yeah. Go to the draft, get that money, big dog. Get that money. Cody Simon's going to be gone. So that defense is going to be completely revamped. And then, so it's like this whole defense will be revamped. Offense, I think the offensive line is going to be really well. All those injuries have really been a blessing for Ohio State because they've really been able to play a lot of people that probably weren't going to play till next year up front. Donovan Jackson definitely going to go to the draft. I think Donovan Jackson played himself into being a borderline top 15 pick, given the fact that he was a really, really good guard. And I ain't going to lie. Donovan Jackson could maybe play tackle. He maybe could. I think he could. He played tackle very, very well. If you notice, one thing I kept on saying when I talked about Ohio State was, when is somebody going to choose to expose Donovan Jackson? And it never came up. It never came up. He just made himself a lot of money proving how versatile he is. And it's like Emeka Buka's gone. You're going to be starting new quarterbacks. Probably going to be Julian Sand. Is most likely going to be Julian Sand. The running back room is completely gone. So it's going to be so interesting to see how this team revamps. But you know what the one thing you do got? You got Jeremiah Smith. You got that man. Oh my God. I'm so, I thought Ohio State was going to win the national championship before the season started, but in all honesty, I think that before every single season with them, because that's just the standard at Ohio State. When you look at Ohio State, they always have one of the more talented rosters. They just have to go out there and do it. And this year they did it, but this year was so rewarding, given at times it looked like it wasn't going to be done, man. And they went through the hardest road. You can't say, okay, Ohio State ducked this team, ducked that team. No, they played all the guys that people probably would have picked that people picked to win this thing. Texas was a team that I thought was the best team for a majority of the year. They played them, they beat them. Oregon was the best team in the Big Ten, and honestly, probably looked like the best team in college football all year. They beat them. Tennessee was a sneaky team that a lot of people said they can go into Columbus and win. I'm sorry, I'm in such a good mood. Ohio State did it. I'm so excited. I'm about to get off here before I just keep on rambling and saying shit. But yeah, Ohio State is your 2024 national champions, and if you got something to say about it, you know where to find me, bro. You know where to find me. And to the Michigan fans, right? Listen. Keep bringing up y'all beat us this year. That's cool. Y'all can have that. You can't discredit this national championship. Don't do that. Yeah, you beat us this year. I'll give you that. Y'all can say that all you want. I am fine with that personally. Y'all got it. We were whooping y'all for so long. Y'all got y'all got a win streak going on. You got a nice little win streak going on. But you can't discredit our national championship. Don't take that away from us. I didn't take away from y'all. I did not. We all won it last year. Yeah, Midwest running college football right now. Big Ten, the best conference in the world. SEC who? SEC what? None of that matters. Midwest football is where it's at. Down south really can't mess with us. I'm just talking crazy right now. I'm sorry. I'm very high on this win. National champs, baby.